So yeah, everyone is agreeing that's better. So they're saying that home looks glorious, the colors and
Oh,
expansion. Yeah, where are you? Where are you right now, Yvonne?
I'm home.
This is home?
This is home.
Where
Welcome to
where
my home.
this is in Houston?
This is in Houston, yes.
They make homes like this in Houston?
Yes.
I mean, it
You're
looks
so kind. You're so kind. Thank you.
I'm not even being kind. This is beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank
It
you.
looks
Thank you.
like it looks historic. Like I'm looking at even pillars and
The
like
yeah.
it looks like the architecture and just the layout and you were coming down the stairway, there was a spiral. I mean, it was like, where are you? You know, I was like, where are you?
Oh, okay. You went through a portal looking at all these beautiful just furniture and walls. So thank you for being patient.
Did you specifically like lay out the like the blueprints, the architect, like you wanted it like that?
No, no, no. So this home, what it's designed this way, but we did do a little bit of interior design. His name is Gotti. He's one of my followers and he's amazing. I believe he's located in San Antonio and he also travels a lot and he really helped out with all the colors and we love blues and yeah, he also helped me create my spiritual room where I do a lot of work and combo ceremonies. So but thank you.
Okay. You know, I've seen you in different outfits and you're naturally very vibrant and very colorful yourself.
Mm, thank you. Yes, I definitely love my home, but I also love being a humanitarian and creating circles and events, and that just brings out a lot of joy from me.
Speaking of the events that you love creating, you know, I was with you in was it Laura?
Laura, Gabby, yes.
Yes, Gabby.
You can call her
Gabby. I
Gabby.
was with you
Mm.
and Gabby and with everyone else in the congregation. It was such a vibration and just such a colorful culmination of the
Ah,
assortment, just like the petals, the flowers, the roses, like all of the spread that you had was just popping. Everything was popping.
oh, thank you. Thank you. Gabby and we are very intentional when creating our sacred altar. We have the four elements, earth, air, fire, water. And this was actually our very first moon circle in Austin. And I just want to say it was beyond what we expected, specifically having you. We kept hearing about Jerome, and Jerome's going to teach this, teach that. And we're like, divine timing, because I don't know if Janet shared the story with you. I was actually supposed to go to there's two different stores, the Temple and the Vortex. I meant to go to the one that she wasn't at. So I ended up going to her store, and when I realized I went to the wrong location, I was like, okay, the universe guided me here, so I need to speak to her. So we had a one-on-one conversation. She served me hape and she told me about you, and I was just like, yes, have him come over. So yeah, I trusted, I surrendered, and I was just in awe. And we, you saw how people felt about you at the end of the ceremony. No one wanted to leave. We were beyond grateful. And I didn't know my knees could crack so much. So thank you for teaching me something new. And I hope that next time I go to Austin, we continue to see each other and I can attend one of your classes.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll
Yeah.
keep the energy flowing and we'll keep it going, you know.
Yes.
We'll keep the community growing, you know. And I
Mhm.
love this, Yvonne, because you're talking about synchronicity, you know,
Mm.
divine encounter, serendipity, synchronicity. We use these wonderful words to talk about divine timing, you know, when
Mm.
it's right, it's right. Like you said, you went to the wrong location, but it
But
was
it
the
wasn't
right one.
wrong. Yeah.
It was the right one, right?
Hmm.
You know, when you're talking about those chance encounters with, you know, like-minded beings, kindred spirits, you know, like-minded souls, you know, people
Hmm.
who are on your path, you know, soulmates as it were. Do those synchronicities happen to you often?
I Thank you for asking that question because it allows me to reflect on the season that I'm currently in. I felt like I was constantly asking for signs or looking for the answers, and I realized that I needed to just become a practice of my own, just be self-disciplined with like morning routines or staying off my phone, taking a break from social media. And I realized that my guides or the universe has been sending me signs, but my mind wasn't quiet enough. And I feel like right now in this season, I've surrendered and there's just messages from left to right. Like, sometimes something's happening and then they'll throw an angel number at me, confirming me that, okay, this is how you need to address the situation. You need to let it go. Trust yourself. So it's been a very beautiful season for me. I think it honestly started to get loud when I was going to Austin just for fun to visit my friends. And in Austin, I don't know if you guys get this, a lot of angel numbers in Austin, but I do. As soon as I start to hit the road, they are everywhere. So I knew that I needed to continue going to Austin. And the numbers just kept getting louder and louder.
Wow. Wow. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh. They say, Yvonne, the universe speaks in sign language, you know,
Hmm.
sign language. Like it's always giving signs. If we're taking the time to listen, to see the signs, if we have ears to hear and eyes to see, then they're
Hmm.
everywhere. They're everywhere. So when you're talking about, angel numbers and how they throw them out there at you, one of the ones that I enjoy is 222. I always say when I see 222, I'm like, that's my cue. 222, that's my cue. I know what to do.
Yeah.
I know what to do.
Hmm.
Come on through, 222, come on through. So with your shamanic drum,
Hmm.
I seen 222 was on the bottom, so I was like, okay, that's an alignment. And then I
Hmm.
seen you had 222 on your body, so I said, okay, she knows the assignment, you know? So can you talk about these numbers? Like when did angel numbers really come into your awareness, and what did it do for your consciousness that you started to surrender and trust life in this way with numerology?
Oof. Okay. First, I want to say thank you for seeing me because it is rare for someone to be as connected with the number 222 the way I am. You saw it and you came up to me, you're like, 222. And I'm like, yes. So thank you. It it started at the beginning of my spiritual journey. I was actually dealing with alcoholism. And I hid it very well, but only I knew the shadows and the pain that I hid. And I I had tried AA before and it worked for a little bit. So this time around, I didn't have a lot of options or solutions. Um, so I remember thinking, I'm like, okay, I could go to AA, but I already went down that road. And a friend of mine told me, why don't you go do ayahuasca? And I was like, okay. At this point, I had no clue what ayahuasca was. And I said, why would I do something? For me, it was a drug. I was like, why would I do a drug to get rid of another drug? But I went for it because at this point, I'm like, honestly, I don't even have any plans. So I wrote down a whole list of things that were meant to improve myself, not only spiritually, but like motivational conventions. So I had them lined up back to back to back to back. And I went to go sit with ayahuasca. And whenever I sat with ayahuasca, it just like blew my mind. And the veil, the blindfold had lifted. I saw how everything started. I saw the death of my oldest sister. I was at her funeral. I wasn't even born yet. So I saw a lot of things that I can't even explain. And I even confirmed with my family if these visions were even real. And they were like, yes, it happened. So that's when my curiosity of spirituality and plant medicine started to grow because here's little Yvonne trying to fight for her freedom, and yet you tell me that I sit with ayahuasca and then like years of trauma just came up and healed within a weekend. Obviously, everything led to this final moment, but being so aware, I realized that 222 was in that date. And after that, it felt like they were telling me your life is about to be turned upside down and you need to hold on tight. And 222 was like you're exactly the reminder that I needed every time I would freak out because they were like, you are exactly where you need to be and you need to trust us. And I had to shed identities, friends, beliefs, and that's not easy when it's just all happening all at once.
Right, right.
Hmm.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. My goodness gracious. Like Yvonne, when you're talking about this, and thank you just for being transparent, and just thank you
Hmm.
for that testimony of
Hmm.
what a powerful, transformative experience, life-changing, you
Thank you, thank
know?
you.
Like your energy not only lifting, but your reality shifting,
Hmm.
and you just being gifting with the opportunity. What an opportunity to sit down with Mother Aya.
Mm.
You're sitting down with Mother Aya and you're talking about seeing the death of your sister. You said you went to the funeral and you weren't even born yet. What do
Mm-mm.
you mean when you say that?
She was my parents' firstborn child, and she did not make it to 1 year. She got really sick and she ended up dying before they could take her to the hospital. So Mother Aya took me to the scene where they were burying her. It was like her funeral. And I saw my parents holding back a lot. Like that that was a big like, whoa, why aren't they crying? So that was something that I had to address with my parents. I'm like, did you hold back a lot? Sorry, I had to put it on do not disturb because I was getting a phone call.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a big whoa. My parents were holding back. They were holding back their emotions. They weren't allowed to grieve properly, and yeah, I was able to see that.
So, okay, and you weren't born yet to see
Oh,
these things that you saw.
correct.
So the
Hmm.
fact that you saw vividly in a vision
Hmm.
things that actually happened at a point in time. What is time? What is time? Like did you, how did that even, how did that kind of how did you rationalize what our concept of time, what did that do for your concept of time?
Mm. Honestly, I didn't even see it that way. I just saw, I felt that they wanted me to have compassion towards my parents and towards my childhood because it was very, very difficult and it was very dark. And when I was young, I felt like I was depressed and sad for no reason. I didn't understand it because in here in my heart, I felt so much joy, but yet my actions felt depressed and sad. And I think that was when I saw that vision, I realized, oh, that's where I'm getting it from. It was passed down to me, and I never knew where it was coming from.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Geez, is this after this experience, did you start trusting things a lot more? Like, what did you put your faith in and your trust in after such a transcendental experience, such a journey?
That, whoa. That's how can I even answer that question? Um that we're not alone. I realized that I was never alone. I was always being guided and my intuition was always guiding me. So I recreated a strong relationship with that voice. Um we're all human, we're all connected, and Yeah, everything's just way bigger than ourselves, way bigger than this physical reality. And I wanted to learn more about it and grow a stronger relationship as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it sounds like you did.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you have. You know, and as you were speaking, Yvonne, Eva, Miss Young is underneath us. She's commenting
Okay.
down below. Our lovely viewers are commenting here. And Miss Young says, grieving not allowed becomes anger very loud. So, okay, go ahead. Did that bring up anything?
Say it again.
She
It
said,
just,
grieving not allowed becomes anger very loud.
mm. Thank you, Eva. Eva, did I say it correct? Eva. Thank you, Eva, because that and it's you just shone light in my childhood home. My mother was angry most of the time, and I love her. You know, we've healed. We're continuing to heal. But yeah, when we were younger, she was angry. Thank you.
Okay, okay. And I mean, I've dealt with a lot of anger in the past as well, and I dealt with it in different ways, and I there were a lot of emotions that were suppressed, a lot of things that were not expressed, and I
Mm,
also definitely dabbled throughout my years with alcohol, in my
wow.
late teens and also early like my 20s, basically my
Mhm.
20s. I was yeah, heavy in alcohol. It wasn't to the point where I was in any AA meetings, that I had like it wasn't to the point where I felt like I could never stop, but it was a continuance. And I did have a lot of anger growing up, and they say that, we store anger in the liver, and it's interesting, alcohol just attacks that area. So when you're talking about, I mean, just surrender, letting go, and also Eva, she actually had another question. She had a question. Miss Young said, "Did you take on their grief to relieve it from your ancestry?" She was only curious about that.
Say that one more time. I got a call and it cut off. I apologize.
No worries. So I'll pin the question here. Did you take on their grief to relieve it from your ancestry?
Man, are you my guide? Are you guiding me into healing right now? Probably, because like I mentioned earlier, I didn't know where all these emotions were coming from. And then when I would drink, the anger would come out. And that's why I was afraid of this version that was living with me because it was like, who is this? What is this? And why can't I like detach myself from her? So I wouldn't be surprised if I was actually the one that was expressing all those really heavy emotions.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. There's a saying, and I'm sure you've heard this before, Yvonne, that it ran in the family until it ran into me.
Oh, that's
Like you're the
beautiful.
one, you're changing your family tree. You're transmuting that energy for the rest of your family, for not only this generation, but past generation, future generation. Like it ran into you.
And so it is. I claim that. Thank you. Hmm.
Ashe, Ashe. So it is. So my goodness, when you're talking about from alcoholism to ayahuasca, to sitting down with Mother Aya, did that free you from the control of the alcohol? Did that free you, or were you still struggling with it for some time afterwards?
I think it's very important to know that plant medicine helps you see things clear and for a moment puts the power back into your hands. But the real work is outside of ceremony. And there were times where I was slowly starting to fall back into my old patterns because I really didn't change anything. I was like, oh my God, I saw these visions. I was in this beautiful love and light for like weeks, and I thought, okay, I'm fixed, ready, like I'm done, I'm good. but nothing changed. My mindset, my friends, my habits, and then that's when I realized, oh, I have to do the work. And yes, I did do a little bit more medicine. I said in ceremonies, but eventually I let go of the training wheels and I became the medicine.
Mm,
Mhm.
wow. Wow. So you let go of the training wheels and you started to ride, like you became the medicine, what you have inside. I love that. I love that.
Mm,
Becoming the medicine on all levels, and also now administering the medicine to these groups, these collectives, these gatherings,
mm,
these, just synergistic groups that now the community is coming together to remember.
mhm.
You became medicine, and now we get the healing medicine as well, just from your presence. You know.
Oh, I'm just a mirror, Jerome, because you are medicine as well with your Qigong. Thank you so much. Did I say it right?
Blessing.
Qigong, Qigong,
You can say Qigong, you can say Qigong.
Qigong.
Some
Okay.
people say Qigong, Qigong, Qigong.
Mm.
There's really no right, there's really no wrong when you're doing Qigong. Keep the energy strong. That's Qigong. Yeah.
Thank you for your rhymes. Thank you for your poems. They reminded me to tap into my poetry. They reminded me to bring out my inner child.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's the message,
Hmm.
that's actually the idea. We sometimes we don't kindle that flame. We don't keep it maintained and self-sustained, that flame, the inner child running wild, you know,
Mm.
and it can come through with just a smile. That you see the inner child. You see that somebody has kept their child alive. And
Hmm.
I feel like one of the ways that we can thrive is when we keep the child alive. So thank you for playing, you know. Thank you for just giving it a try, being open-minded, being open-hearted, and just letting your spirit just draw near it. Like, thank you. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without your guidance.
Oh my God.
Thank you, love.
Yvonne, just one more I want to touch really quick, because I definitely struggled and found challenges with certain addictions and certain afflictions in my life. And if you're
Okay.
saying that alcohol had such a hold and such a control at that time, that even ayahuasca, you were in the love and light space for a few weeks, but then you came back to that energy. Somehow, some way, you kind of had the ups and downs, the in and out, the back and forth, the kind of peaks and valleys, and the roller coaster that people can have with these
Mhm.
substances that can just be so enticing, and just, yeah, just really, really be a vice for a lot of people. What do you feel was the allure or the attraction of alcohol?
Oof. I I just couldn't stop. I couldn't say no. And I also, if I noticed one thing was that I would drink to feel comfortable in my own skin. That was definitely one motive. But if someone is watching this video and dealing with any type of addiction, it's hard. It's hard to let go. And that version of you has to die. And no one wants to hear that word or go through that scary process because we don't know what that looks like. I just want you to know that it's a lot like working out. Like when you go to the gym, you take the first step. You probably don't want to go consistently. Maybe you go once a week. Maybe you let go once a week, and then that becomes to 2 weeks, and then you fall back, and then you get back up. That is part of the process. And be compassionate with yourself and be gentle with yourself because you may not realize it, but your muscle is growing. Your willpower is growing. Just don't give up on yourself. And maybe ayahuasca isn't the answer, and maybe it is. Maybe this is a sign that maybe plant medicine will help you, but they want you, the universe, the unable one, whoever you believe in, wants you to believe in yourself and know that you are strong enough. And this is your testimony and this is your message and you got this.
Awesome.
Hmm.
I love that. Great advice. Great advice.
Hmm.
And I love, Yvonne, your words of affirmation,
Hmm.
like affirming others and just
Hmm.
letting it be confirmed when you affirm
Hmm.
that we have it within us to continue. Is just tapping in with what is within you, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah. I love, one of the other things that you mentioned, among the many methods and modalities that you have tried that have changed your mentality and shifted reality for you, not only ayahuasca, but you mentioned that Janet served you, you said hape?
Hape. Yes. She served me hape and I hadn't done hape in a very long time. I'm very intentional when I sit with hape. And she was there. She had her whole little hape altar and I was like, "Would you serve me?" And she was like, "Yes." When she lit up, that's when I knew I'm like, okay, I'm glad that she's gonna serve me because again, I'm very intentional with who I allow to serve me because we're exchanging energy and also the place and time because I want to respect all medicine. I don't just want to use it and abuse it. And I could tell that she had so much pure joy and intention behind the medicine that she was serving. So we sat in a circle and she served me and it was very beautiful. We had a beautiful moment. It grounded me. Um, yeah, Hape is just one of those holistic medicines that I do during ceremony or just very intentional.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. So I love how you're very intentional
Hmm.
with, the way that you use it. Like you said, you choose it, you use it, you don't abuse it.
I love your rhymes.
So, so you're saying that even though it's plant medicine, you're saying it can be abused.
Uh, with Hape, I believe so. I
Yeah.
believe so. Not all plant medicines, they're, I wouldn't say they're all you can abuse them or maybe you can, I'm not sure, but yeah, I believe there's a way to hold a sacred space, to hold your intention at the forefront and just be mindful of where you are and who's serving you because everything is energy, everything is frequency, and you are sitting with sacred medicine that itself it is very intentional.
Absolutely, absolutely. For someone who's never even heard of Hape, I myself have never done Hape, but if somebody is listening to this and they're like, okay, what is Hape? Like what is it?
We need to add Janet for this for this question,
Okay.
right? Janet.
Okay,
But
okay.
my perspective is it's made out of trees, herbs, and it does have tobacco. There are different versions of hape. There's a more feminine and masculine. There's blends that were created only by the feminine, only by the masculine. It can be grounding. It can give you energy. So if you're wanting to remove caffeine out of your life, there are some hapes that are really good for a boost of energy. And yeah. Mhm.
Okay, okay. Caffeine has been, oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Caffeine was a big thing for me early on. I mean, yeah, that was tough to remove from my life for sure. Yeah, I think the only thing that really removed caffeine from my life was fasting and cleansing. Fasting.
Oh my goodness. How often do you fast? Because I hear you talk a lot about fasting. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
like I'm currently on a fast right now. Like I've
Oh
been
wow.
liquid since the last week. Since last Wednesday I've been liquid. Yeah. So through the whole, I just was at a Texas Fruit Festival in Austin, Texas. So everybody's eating fruit, and I'm just kind of, just standing with everybody, just playing my flute. I'm playing my flute. Everyone's eating fruit. I'm playing my flute. And everybody was checking on me. It's funny. It's so funny. They're all like asking me, like, "Are you okay? Do you need water? Do you
They're
need this?"
checking your blood pressure.
Yeah, like they're all like making sure I'm good. I'm like, okay, I'm good, I'm good. And
Yeah.
they're like, are you sure? Do you need something? Can I
Mm.
get you something? Can I have you? Would you like something? And I'm like, no, I'm good. But fasting is something that, you know, it's in every major religion, so people can understand when you say, "Hey, I'm fasting." You know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
fasting. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's talked about worldwide in so many countries and so many continents and so many cultures and so many customs. You know, there's fasting. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we understand fasting. So it's biblical. I mean, there's also Ramadan, and there's just so many different spaces and places where people take a break, you know, give the body a break. But for a certain amount of time, I kind of, I mean, I'm a Scorpio, so people can say I'm a bit extreme, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
people would label me an extremist because I took a long break.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
what somebody would take a break from solid food, my break was a little bit prolonged. It was prolonged.
Wow.
So that's where it became no longer fasting. It was more chronic living. It was a lifestyle. It was my lifestyle.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean that definitely is something I'm familiar with, and it fulfilled me in ways that I didn't know I needed.
Mm.
It fulfilled me in ways that I didn't even know were possible for me without something extra, you
Oh.
know, without a substance, without like Starbucks, without, you know what I mean? It fulfilled me in ways that gave me vitality and energy
Mm-hmm.
in ways that I didn't know were possible.
Ooh.
So yeah, I mean, I recommend it. I recommend, you know, for anybody who's never even gone one day, just go one day. You
One
know,
day.
like you suggested for people, Yvonne, like slowly and gradually, and just what is your intention? Why? Why do you even want to do this in the first place? I think why is more important than how. If you have a strong
Oof.
why, you
Mm-hmm.
can achieve any how. The how is not important. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. I'm Thank you for sharing. I'm definitely curious about fasting. I've I've been doing intermittent fasting, but
Nice.
that's different from having full days, and I admire that about you.
Oh, oh,
Mm.
blessings. You know, it's nothing to it but to do it, you know? It's like you get to it, you know?
Mm.
And once you get to it, you get through it.
Mm.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You 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 picking up what I'm put. So, you know, Yvonne, like what you said before,
Ah.
Yvonne, matches up perfectly. It's in alignment. When you
Mhm.
talked about it's like a muscle that you're flexing.
Mhm.
You know, we see a lot of things that are vexing, a lot of things are perplexing, but you can go even longer with that muscle you're flexing. And it doesn't just have to be a
Mm.
physical muscle, it can be your mental muscles, your emotional muscles, your
Mhm.
spiritual muscles, you
Mm.
know? So, this is what we call when we talk about fasting and things that are long lasting. You know, these methods and modalities are like spiritual fitness. You are the observer and you are also the witness, you know?
Oof.
So, yeah.
That was beautiful. You're just a poem. You're just a poem in a human form.
Oh my God, this is the norm. This is the norm, you
Oh.
know? I
Mm.
mean, yeah. I mean, to be in human form is a privilege. You
Mhm.
know, it's an honor. Like just to be in human form, just to be in this vessel, in this body. We,
Gratitude.
I mean, we can touch, we can taste, we can text,
Mhm.
we can talk, we can walk. You know, like you
Mhm.
said it before, circling back to the very beginning of this conversation, gratitude.
Mhm.
Gratitude is the great attitude, you know, and
Mhm.
I can feel your gratitude, Yvonne. I can feel that you there were things that you had to go through and grow through in life that gave you even more gratitude for living,
Mhm.
you know? Yeah.
Thank you for seeing me. I think about what I had to go through to be the person that I am, and I know when we're going through it, it's like, why me? And you're almost just ready to give up at some point and questioning your story, your journey, the meaning behind of it all. And now where I'm at today, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Mm.
Hmm.
Wow. You know, I love that because throughout this conversation, Yvonne, you've been talking
Hmm.
about surrender,
Hmm.
you know, and that's been a recurring theme just as we've been talking together. is letting go. You know, we there's so many ideas and schools of thought when it comes to what is strength, what is the ability to be strong. And I feel like everyone can hold on. Like we can hold on to a lot. You know, physically, we
Ooh.
can hold on to a lot of waste in the body. We can hold
Mm-hmm.
on to a lot of toxins. We can hold on to the poison. We can hold on to the, you know, all the things that we haven't eliminated. Emotionally, we can hold on to grudges. We can hold on to jealousy, hold on to
Mm,
envy, hold on to anger, right? And
thoughts. Mm-hmm.
exactly. And I feel like the real strength, and this is just my theory, you tell me, but I feel like the real strength is letting go.
Oh, yes. Yes. And that's what my moon circles are about.
Okay.
I love that. That has been my biggest lesson, my biggest message. That was one of the, like, it just kept coming out of nowhere. Let go, let go. And I'm like, what do I let go of? You know, like I let go of some clothes, some shoes. Like, what exactly do you want me to continue to let go? And honestly, that continues to be the message to this day.
Mm.
And you're right, that the strength lies in letting go.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It's so easy to hold on. It can be hard to let go.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to let go and to let the energy flow, you know, when you're talking about the spirit of detachment and discernment within the detachment, when we're releasing all of these attachments, you know, the material, the immaterial, the tangible, the intangible, you know, letting these things go. When you're talking about your new moon ceremonies, which I was able to join you and Gabby, you
Mm-hmm.
know, how long has these ceremonies been going on? Like when did you start them, and what are you most proud of for just everybody coming together to let go in unison, you know, in unity of letting go?
The I started doing full moon ceremonies by myself
Mhm.
because rewind to the beginning of our talk, I mentioned how I realized that spirituality is self-discipline and practice.
Mhm.
So I'm like, what do I do? Where do I start? And I started with the full moon because I'm a Cancer, so my ruling planet is the moon, and I wanted to connect with her more. I started doing these practices on my own, and then I fell off because I wasn't as consistent. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to invite someone to do this with me. I think that's going to help me be more committed. And I began doing it with a few friends. They fell off, and then my best friend joined me. And she was like, why don't we invite more people? And people just started showing up to my house. And then I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to take this to the park. And it was every month, and I realized that, whoa, these ceremonies hold a lot of power, just as much as a plant medicine ceremony would do for someone. And I continue to do them. It's been over a year, and I had a friend in Austin again, and the messages were just going wild. And I asked how. I was literally sitting in Casa de Luz asking the universe, what am I supposed to do here?
Mhm.
And that's where the new moon circles are now held.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm very proud of the women that show up consistently to the circles, because sometimes they will express, I didn't want to come here. I'd rather be at home dealing with my emotions. And even though that's very comfortable, and it's probably what your mind is telling you that you need, you realize when you put yourself out there and you express, it was energy that needed to, like you said, let go. And in the process of you sharing and healing, they inspired the woman around them. And we never feel alone at the end of the day, and we always feel more light. So I'm proud of them for being strong and doing something that not a lot of people are willing to do.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know, when you're willing to do something you've never done, you get results you've never had,
Mm.
you know? It's like only the one who is willing to risk going too far can find out how far one can go, into the zone of the unknown. It's like we can stay in our comfort zone, or we can just dip our toe in the water and say, oh, you know what, the water's fine. Let me dive in, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
you being a Cancer, you dive in. I'm a Scorpio, we dive in.
Oh,
We're deep
yeah.
divers. We're deep divers, we're both water signs. So
Mm-hmm.
we know how to play in the water. We know how to dive
Mm-hmm.
deep, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
And I
And
think I think that's why we hold sacred spaces for other people
hmm,
because we're like, okay, we're in the deep waters, we're familiar with them. You're safe. You're safe here.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to these ceremonies, and also there were certain practices that you did during it. I want to talk about sound healing because you had that drum going the whole time. But I also want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about the practice of journaling, because you invited people to have reflections.
Mm-hmm.
You invited people to make that connection.
Mm-hmm.
And you said do it on whatever you can, like if you have a piece of paper or if you have your phone on your notes app or whatever, but just write it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like what gets written gets done.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about, think and ink,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
that even the palest ink is better than the sharpest memory for somebody
Mm-hmm.
who's writing down their destiny. Like you design it on paper, you'll achieve it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
We can be in that service. So can you talk about what has journaling done for you in your life? How has it been impactful?
Wow. Um, I was one of those people that was like, I don't have time. I don't have time to be sitting down and stopping what I'm doing and writing things down. But I think it was one of those practices that you keep hearing, you need to do it, it's recommended, it will help, it will heal. So I somehow started to create you need to sit down, make some time, and it just became a practice and practice. But this present version of me realized that when I write things down, all my problems just went away. Like if I'm stressing out about a situation, a conversation, a person, and I start writing things down, I step back and I read it. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's me. It's me. It's just emotions, and then I let it go. It feels like I had a lot of energy building up, and once I wrote it down, it's like that tank just cleared out and I made room for new energies. That is one way that journaling has helped me. Um, yeah.
Interesting,
Hmm.
Yvonne. Interesting. So you're saying it's like you're looking at yourself
Hmm.
through like your higher self, or like a
Hmm.
different vantage point, a
Hmm.
different perspective within the collective. You're like looking at yourself from like a bird's eye view,
Hmm.
taking yourself out of, because they do say, and I'm sure you've heard this already, but they say like it's hard to see the whole picture when we're stuck inside the frame.
Hmm. Hmm.
When you're stuck in the frame, you can't see the whole picture.
No, you're in it. Hmm.
So you're saying that writing allows you to see what you weren't able to see.
Correct. Hmm.
Okay. You're like, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That and also express what I didn't know I needed to express.
Oh,
Hmm.
oh man. Oh man.
Hmm.
Have you had sessions where you were writing and you might have just spontaneously just broke out with emotion during a session of,
Mm, absolutely. Absolutely.
wow.
Hmm.
So it's healing as well on that level.
It's healing, it's creativity, it's empowering. Um, if you have goals you want to achieve for some reason, when you write them down, it's like it's your word. It's like a contract that you made and you didn't even know.
Mm.
Writing things like and there's this one exercise that I do in the full moon circle, and we write down things that we no longer resonate with: fear, doubt, smallness, jealousy, and we write it down and we burn it. And that's a visual ritual that we do, and it just somehow helps clear the energy.
Hmm. So
Hmm.
it's like your word is your bond.
Hmm.
You're making a contract. This is really like a bond that you're
Hmm.
creating with your words.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Almost sounds like a spell, like you're writing something down. I mean,
Hmm.
we are spelling out things, but we're
Hmm.
spelling out our future.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
you're literally writing it down. This is awesome because when you're also talking about just during the whole ceremony that I was with you, you kept continuously. There was a drum that you had. It was like this drum. I don't know what kind of drum is this that you just have with you?
They call it shamanic drum.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I mean, you just kept the rhythm going like a
Hmm.
heartbeat,
Hmm.
like the heart. Like when did you get into sound healing with this kind of vibration, and what has it done in these situations?
I became a combo practitioner. That was another holistic healing
Um,
practice that helped me overcome. Kambo is a secretion from a frog, and we create a ceremony where you detox and you purge not only physically, emotionally, spiritually. So I grew a relationship with Kambo, and I became a Kambo practitioner just for the healing. I did not know music was involved until I went to school and I learned that we can use drums, maracas, anything, just create music to help the client purge. That's when I was like, oh snap, I gotta learn how to play music. And the first thing that I felt called to was a shamanic drum because it's very simple. You just, create a few beats and that helps the client purge. And ever since then, I've just anywhere, if I'm in a ceremony, I feel really called to use it, and my body won't let me rest until I listen to it.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Tremendous. I
Mm-hmm.
respect you. I
Mm-hmm.
respect you just for your healing, like
Mm-hmm.
for your service to the all, for your
Thank
service to
you.
others. Yeah. I mean, I've heard that in combo, I mean, I've heard of people releasing spiritual, I mean,
Oh
entities that had
wow.
attached themselves to them in the astral, like I've heard of people releasing not only just, purging physically, but like you said, on all of those levels, on the wide spectrum,
Mhm.
releasing like, I mean, they make it seem like demonic entities were possessing them, and they said with combo, it was like,
Yeah.
all out
Hmm.
for sure.
Yes. Um, Definitely, combo is the medicine that you want to use if there's something like you mentioned earlier to let go. I've witnessed clients that it's really hard for them to cry, like they don't cry. There was this one specific client, their friend died and they couldn't shed any tears.
Mm.
And sitting with combo allowed them to just release, let go of the sadness they had been holding on. So yeah, it does help to let go, to purge, to detox, physical, spiritual, mental, emotional. Mhm.
Wow, wow. Yvonne, if this is somebody's first time encountering you, meeting you, and hearing your story, hearing your journey, hearing your learnings,
Mhm.
and they feel touched by your story, they feel in tune with you, and they want to be even more in touch with your offerings, maybe your services, anything that you have available, where should people go to find more of you?
Please follow me at yvonne.soluna. DM me. I will follow you back. I will message you and we'll start from there. I don't like to just throw my services out there. I like to meet the person where they're at and say, where are you? How are you?
Yeah,
And go from there. Hmm.
I respect that. I
Hmm.
respect that. You're saying like you like to feel a person out. You like to make sure that the energy is here.
Well, sometimes not saying like I'm gonna turn them down, I'm gonna question them, But I mean like sometimes they just need a friend to talk to. Maybe they just need to be, they need a safe space. But yes, we can dive deeper into, is combo for you? Is a moon circle for you? Is a one-on-one ceremony better for you?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Beautiful, beautiful. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Hmm.
Yvonne, thank you so much for showing up today. Just thank you for all that you shared with us. And I mean, I know you've done these lives quite a few times, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
You're a
Yeah,
natural.
this is the first time I was the one sitting in the hot seat. So I was like, ancestors, please give me the strength and the confidence that I need. So thank you so much for allowing me to be on the other end. And this was very beautiful. I was also looking forward to getting to know you. Hmm.
I'm glad. I'm glad. And we'll get to know each other even more.
Yeah.
And just yes, yes, we got a whole lot from you, from your experience, your
Mm.
knowledge and wisdom. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of your day and keep doing what you're doing. Keep shining, keep going, please.
You too. You too. Thank you so much. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your light. Thank you for your words.
All right.
Thank you, Jerome.
Muchas gracias. Que tenga buen día.
Buen día. Thank you everyone for watching.